It's true. Sometimes we have to hit rock bottom, the edge of death, the deepest, darkest depression, to realize we've headed so far down the wrong direction, we can shake hands with the devil. The purpose of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Podcast is to help you better understand your work environment as I break down my own experiences as mid-level management of road construction. In the Word Up segment of the show, we introduce a new word or a word hardly used in everyday speech. Word up. Obsequious. Marked by or exhibiting a fawning attentiveness. It is said an obsequious person is more likely to be a follower than a leader. Bear in mind that the word comes from the Latin root sesqui, meaning to follow. Sesqui is also closely related with the word consequence, which is a result that follows from an action. To follow a good leader with attentiveness is a good action, but to sesqui a terrible front person can be something like joining a misguided cult. You may not want a piece of that action. Don't drink the punch. Don't forget to order your copy of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Workbook to help you navigate your work environment. The link is in the bio. Over the years, we've all heard speakers and leaders say, "You need to control yourself. Don't let your circumstances control you. You control your circumstances," and so on. I do understand what they mean with that type of encouragement, but not many people ever say anything about levels of self-control. There are substances that can render you out of control, such as drugs and alcohol. Depending on a person's tolerance, intoxicants can cause an altered state of consciousness to the point motor functions and speech are severely compromised. Becoming addicted is a whole new level of being out of control. No restraint or self-control also applies to bad relationships someone continues to return to or won't leave, be it significant other, toxic friends, or toxic family members. Notwithstanding food, places, and things. Everyone knows fast food can clog arteries, make and keep you sick, and is the number one aid to a life of obesity. Being obsequious to the aforementioned behaviors literally drags out of control folks under. You can't go any deeper into the negatives than death. Yet, a lot of people live at the edge of it most of their lives. It's true. Sometimes we have to hit rock bottom, the edge of death, the deepest, darkest depression, to realize we've headed so far down the wrong direction, we can shake hands with the devil. This is a horrific and highly important appointment with choice. Do we shake the devil's hand and get covered with 6 feet of sand, or do we put self-control in a chokehold, not to kill it, but to make sure it doesn't get away again? Let's face it, we don't really learn until life gets really hard. But the beginning phase of losing self-control into a downward spiral can be a lot of fun, even when we know the risk. Just this once, to this kind of sucks, to I hate my life, to wanting it all to end as you stare at the devil's hand. Don't tempt me. When people sink into the basement of life, blaming others or beating yourself up is pointless. You need that energy to pick yourself up and exercise control. Imagine a cave diver reaching the bottom of a deep, dark, narrow crevasse. The way back is the same way he came, but he's exhausted from the descent. The same narrow, tight jacket opening he enthusiastically seen as an entrance now feels like a trap. I'll never get out of here. There will be many pivotal points of choice after deciding not to shake the devil's hand, while retracing steps back to where it all began. It's easy to enter, but hard to escape. The climber can be trapped or take control, knowing the same way in, the same way out. Like a cave diver, the beginning point to the bottom starts at ground zero, where light still shines. -1 foot, -2 feet, -3. Every step into sub-elevations, the darker it gets. -3 feet, -2 feet, -1. Almost there. Finally, ground zero. I can breathe and see light again. Yes, be proud of yourself. You survived hell. But don't stand there too long from where you just escaped. Ground zero is still the edge of the crevasse. You have to go to a whole new level of self-control, far away from where you risked it. Living on the positive side of self-control doesn't mean there aren't any challenges with using it. At some capacity, we are likely to struggle with self-control for the rest of our lives, but at least we don't have to live in a pit. Our aim is to hit the highest level of self-control we possibly can. Every experience we have with touching the sky, we have to remember what that experience was like, so we can do it again until it becomes a reflex. Here is what I mean. Standing at the door of the dark side of self-control, when we climb in, we quickly spiral out of control. Ground zero splits darkness from light. Each level down, the more dreadful life is. But look on the bright side. Each level up, the more freedom and bliss. But like looking in a mirror, one is only a reflection. There isn't any real life there. The dark side or light, the same levels in opposite directions with opposite results. If being out of control on the dark side, the worst it can be, is being out of control on the sunny side, the highest level of control. Absolutely. If you know you are performing well at work and nothing you do ever seems to be enough, beware of becoming a people pleaser, doing more and more to the point of exhaustion and misery is because doing more isn't always better when no one cares or says thank you. Becoming a people pleaser to change the minds of people who don't even like you is a never-ending pursuit. They spoke negatively about you when you did less, and doing more and more, nothing has changed. The highest level of self-control is hard to master. There are and will be things that is out of your control. So let go of your ego and stop trying to fix circumstances you can't. Because Every time you try to repair things outside of your responsibility, you actually make it worse. So leave that scab alone. It will heal all by itself. A movie that was released back in 1996, titled The Fan, starring Wesley Snipes and Robert De Niro, gave a powerful one-liner that I continue to understand better and better as I get older and older. I'll set up the scene. Wesley Snipes' character, Bobby Rayburn, is a professional baseball player. Robert De Niro's character, Gil Renard, is an obsessed psychopath who is a huge fan of baseball. Bobby Rayburn fell into a slump. He went from a home run hero to a strikeout zero, and his biggest fan, Gil Renard, wanted to literally kill his hitless hero. But suddenly, Bobby Rayburn reversed the curse and began hammering home runs over and over again. At the climax of the film, Gil asked Bobby directly, "What changed?" Here is that one-liner. Bobby replied, "I stopped caring." To summarize all that I am trying to convey, I will use what's now a cliche. Surrender. I am out of time, but here's a clip of what to expect in the next episode of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Podcast. I believe people who say I am professionally trained have the wrong idea of who is the professional in that statement. Being professionally trained does not make you professional. The trainer, teacher, or coach are the professionals who help make you become better. But practical experience, now, that leads to professionalism. Don't forget to order your copy of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Workbook to help you navigate your work environment. The link is in the bio. It's easier to keep up with new episodes when you click the follow button and turn on notifications. Remember, my fellow navigators, circumstances don't change. You do. See you next time.